AWGIEs. Please welcome Auntie Maxine Ryan.
Not? Yeah. Nagambi, 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 which means welcome, welcome, welcome in Dharawal language. My name is Auntie Maxine Ryan and I'm from the Dharawal Nation. I'm from the Aboriginal community of Botany Bay and I belong to the Dharawal people. But I would like to acknowledge the Bidjigal and the Gadjigal clan, the land we're meeting on tonight, and acknowledge my elders, past, present, and those emerging, and any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people that are with us tonight. I welcome yous and acknowledge yous. And I acknowledge my elders because we are here tonight on this beautiful land. Aboriginal land always was, always will be, as we are the oldest culture in the world and we have survived for 65,000 years. And that is why we have survived. Because my elders, my ancestors, they have cared for the land, looked after the land and taught everybody else how to look after the land and how to survive. And because I'm passionate about going into schools, I acknowledge the young generation on all the learning that they do. As Australia is a multicultural country and we do welcome all those cultures into Australia every year. So we teach them how to look after this land. The children put their hands up because they might come from a background of a family that has become Australian citizens. But I listen because their stories are just as important as mine. And we listen to each other and I teach them about respect. Respect each other, respect each other's cultures. As we are different, we look different, we talk different, we eat different food, we smell different. And children, sometimes they can be cruel to each other, but I teach them that word respect because I respect them and I would like them to respect me and my culture. Because they're our future, they're our leaders. They're going to be running my country one day. And everybody in here are role models for them. Whatever community you come from, you are role models for our young generation. And we must keep on being that proud role model, as I am proud for my community to be a role model and to live together as one. As I say, our cultures are different. And children, they listen to my stories because I'm fascinated about their stories. I'm fascinated about learning their culture. And they are different. And I say to them, you must keep your culture and keep it going and keep it strong. They might go to church every week and have their beliefs. I have mine. And being a proud Aboriginal woman, I do have my Dreamtime stories because I know when I go, I will see my mum and dad. I will see my siblings and see everybody else. And that's why I teach the children to keep their culture alive. And we can all keep on living and taking our journeys because the children are going to take lots of journeys on this beautiful land. And acknowledge that when you do take your journeys, please keep on looking after the land and the water too. As I grew up on a mission out La Perouse, We got our rations, our food and everything, but we still survived because the food was there. The water and the land, we looked after, kept on keeping us with food. And that's how we all survived. We all survived by looking after the land and the water. Because if we don't, we would all have no food. And that's who feeds us, our mother. That's my mother, Mother Earth. She brought me here and I will go back to her. She still feeds me. She feeds everybody. And that's what I teach the children. Some of the children say, yeah, but you kill kangaroos. I go, well, that's how we survived, Joel. And then I say to them, do you like KFC? You like McDonald's? Oh, yeah. I said, well, you got to kill the chicken and that, and you got to kill the cow and everything else to have your hamburgers and your KFC. And it makes them think. And they go, oh, yeah. So I say to them, well, that's why we have our kangaroo, because we survived with it. We didn't only eat the meat, we kept the fur to keep us warm. We used all their bones to make our tools. The children, everybody can keep on living for another 65,000 years if the cycle is passed on. I know racism will never die, but if we can get it smaller and smaller each year, that would be great. So I do welcome you all here and congratulate you on all the hard work that you do. And as I say, keep being role models for your communities. So on that note, being a proud Aboriginal woman, I don't say goodbye. I say Nundawabi in my language, which means if I don't see you around, I will see you in the dream time. So you have a good evening and enjoy 2024 and have fun doing it. Thank you.
And now your hosts for this evening, Alex Lee and Suren Jayamana.
Well, good evening and welcome to the 56th Annual AWGIEs. Thank you so much, Auntie Maxine, for your welcome to country and your beautiful words about respecting each other and the land and the work you're doing with our young people. And I'd like to welcome everyone watching on the live stream at home. Hello, everyone yell out hello.
Hello.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoy not having to make an excuse to go to the bar like we all have to in here.
And to everyone here tonight, well, look at us all. We did it. We did it. We finally got into NIDA.
That's all it took. Now, it's a pleasure to be hosting with Suren Jayamana, Australia's third most successful comedian from a Sri Lankan background, who also used to be an accountant.
Thank you.
Number 3. That's not nothing.
Thanks very much. We're ending racism a little bit at a time. And I'm basically like a script if it was Nazim Hussain, but then the network came back with some budget-related suggestions. And of course, Alex Lee, I couldn't be more proud to be here tonight hosting alongside Nina Oyama's mum. And you must be proud.
I am, but that did hurt, Suren. That hurt a lot, and mostly because I wrote that joke myself. We are really thrilled to be here, though, aren't we? On this special night to celebrate remarkable Australian writing. There's a lot of fanfare about the actors and the directors, but we know in here screenwriters and playwrights are the truly unrecognised heroes. Yeah.
That's right, Alex, and how wonderful it is to look out into a room full of unfamiliar faces.
Yes, that's right. It really is a who's that of the Australian entertainment industry.
But still, what a privilege it is to be here hosting on Writing's Night of Nights, especially after last year. I think Alex and I have such big shoes to fill. I mean, Mark Humphries, what is he, like a UK 18?
I don't know.
What a freak.
No, look, that's right, Seren. This is the only awards night that matters. I mean, come on, the Logies.
That's nothing more than a popularity contest,
I know,
Alex.
and we're not going to win any popularity contest. I mean, that's why we became writers.
And don't get me started on the actors.
Oh, no, look, maybe if they had a few more writing categories, they'd know how to spell the word actors.
But you know the AWGIEs, it's such a prestigious event. This is the only industry awards given by writers to writers, judged exclusively on the writing. Which is to say, please enjoy yourselves tonight. Because nobody outside these four walls even knows we are here.
But, you know, us writers, we can do it all, can't we? We can all act. I know you can all act. Like that acting you do when a director comes back from set and tells you that the actors have been having a little bit of fun with the lines. You know, they did some improv, did they? Oh, okay. With my painstakingly constructed words and perfectly placed comedic beats. They just said some words that popped into their little brains, did they? That's awesome. That's awesome.
Exactly, Alex. Or what about the performances that we give in writers' rooms? You know, when an executive from the production company comes and they just pop in with an idea? You know, what about at the end of an episode, they find a dead body? Wow, yeah, you're right. What this cricket club show really needs is to be a whodunit.
But we are here to celebrate writing. After all, this right here is the Super Bowl of Australian writing. And tonight, we are pleased to announce that just like the Super Bowl, we also have Usher! Wait. Oh, sorry, no, we have ushers. We have ushers. There they are. Yep.
Wait, he's 45?
Yeah.
Looks terrible. Isn't it so great, though, for all of us to be here to get together for one last time before we're all replaced by ChatGPT?
Yeah. The 57th AWGIEs will probably be held in a server in Brisbane somewhere.
Of course, this year we all supported our colleagues in the US with their successful strike action. And anyone who's taken a look at my CV over the last 7 years would know I've been striking the entire time. That's solidarity right there.
But to all our nominees tonight, to each and every one of you, you should be so proud of the work that you do as storytellers. Stories are how we make sense of the world. Stories are how we better understand ourselves. And that's why you do what you do, even though you know deep down that everyone else just wants to watch maths.
We do have a lot of awards to get through tonight, so we'd like to remind all of tonight's winners, when you come up here, remember all your writing skills. Keep it snappy, word economy, that's very important. Here at the AWGIEs, unfortunately, we don't have a Pond 5 subscription, we can't afford playoff music, but I did bring along this kazoo. And I am not afraid to play it if anyone does too long.
All right, I think I need to get a kazoo to play off your kazoo. Yeah, no. All right, so if you do hear Jurassic Park, it's time to get off. But now please join us in welcoming the President of the Australian Writers Guild, Mr. Pete Matesi.
Please welcome AWG President Peter Matesi.
Hi everyone, thank you Seren and Alex, and thank you to Auntie Maxine for that beautiful welcome. It's an honour to be here on the land of the Gadigal and Bidjigal peoples. As writers and creators, we are deeply grateful to the First Peoples of this country and their ongoing and unbroken history of story and song. It's an honour to tell stories on their land. Welcome to the 56th Annual AWGIEs. We come together tonight to recognise and reward the outstanding achievements of Australia's most accomplished performance writers. I love writers. I love them. I'm never happier than when I'm surrounded by writers. In a writer's room where I'm seeing writers make something out of nothing but their own experience and skill, in a script meeting where a couple of writers come together with a director or a producer or anyone to solve a problem or create something new. And on a night like this, where I can look out across all these faces and know that these are my people. So it's an incredible privilege for me to represent you all as the president of the Guild. I'd like to pay tribute to our outgoing president, Shane Brennan, for his incredible work on behalf of us all over the past years. Thank you, Shane. I joined the Guild over 20 years ago when I landed my first TV job as a trainee storyliner on Neighbours. There, and you may have heard this story before, I was blessed, so blessed, to have an actor who I won't name publicly, I'll tell you afterwards. I was blessed to have an actor walk on set with the first episode of Neighbours that I ever wrote, that I sweated blood over for weeks, hold it aloft and loudly ask, "Have you seen the shit we've got to do today?" So I'd like to say I joined the Guild as part of a bitter 20-year revenge project driven by hatred, with the aim of ensuring writers would never be treated with such disdain again. That wouldn't be strictly true. I joined because the first thing I do in any job is join my union, because I believe in the power of solidarity. And my membership has always been worthwhile. Over the last 2 decades, the Guild has provided me with robust contractual advice, career development opportunities, and an extraordinary community of writers, which, as you know, I love. More recently, as a director on the National Executive Council of our Guild, our board, I felt the optimism that comes from our Guild working closely with government to not just fix the problems of today, but to create a landscape where those problems become a thing of the past and writers take their rightful place at the centre of our industry. For those of you in the audience who are new to the Guild, welcome. You're one of us now. And if I'm honest, you always were and you always knew it. But now it's official, so come and say hello. To me, to a writer you've admired for years, and I have a few to find after this, or to someone at random. You're among friends, and we are delighted to have you. In coming years, I'd love to see you get involved with your Guild. Go along to your state meetings and events, put your hand up to judge awards and help us to shape the policies and opportunities that will ensure your career is long-lasting, because we can't do it without you. 2023 was a big year for us. We saw some major industrial shifts relating to the regulation of streaming services and the coming introduction of local content quotas. This, as the Minister for the Arts, Tony Burke, told us at last year's AWGIEs, is happening. And this is what is going to ensure the health of our industry for years to come. Many of our members participated in the US writers' strike, calling for a greater share of income and residuals from streamers and to open up viewer data to help calculate it. And they won. They won because they came together, because they sacrificed the personal for the collective, even if it cost them. This is the power of solidarity. We know there are more battles ahead as globally we grapple with AI's impact on writers' rights and copyright, and we are ready and prepared and itching to fight them. But we'll need your help. We will only achieve our goals if we chase them together. Every story we celebrate this evening, whether it was written for screen, stage, audio, interactive, was once just an idea in the mind of a writer, which seems really small, but it is those ideas, it's your ideas, that make this industry what it is. And together we will continue to work to make sure that more and more of your ideas become films or TV shows or plays or podcasts or games, to make sure that those ideas continue to power our industry and that we get paid properly for them. The AWGIE Awards are the only industry awards where writers recognise the work of other writers. Tonight's nominees are an exceptional group of storytellers who have created outstanding work across various platforms. I congratulate you all. It truly is an honour for you to be nominated, and I hope you're all very proud. Writers are generally not very good at blowing our own trumpets, but we're going to blow them tonight, and quite shamelessly, please. I'd like to thank the sponsors who made this trumpet blowing possible. In particular, our AWGIE's gold sponsors, Media Super, SBS, Screen Rights, AWGAX, Netflix and NIDA. I'd also like to thank our AWGIE's judges, all of whom are busy and talented writers themselves. Over 80 of them gave hundreds of hours to read and assess and passionately debate over 300 scripts. The AWGIEs would not exist without them. Thank you. Thank you also to the dedicated staff that we are so lucky to have working for us at the Guild. From industrial advice to professional development to communications, we simply would not be here and we would not have a Guild without them. Thank you. And to you, our members, our riders. I think I've established how I feel about riders. I love you all very much. And thank you for your continued support of the Guild and the work we do. We are made stronger by our collective efforts, our passion, and our solidarity. So let the awards begin. I'm going straight on. Sorry, everyone. Hello. Thanks very much. We're a very polished organisation, as you can tell. It's my honour to present the first award of tonight, which is the Richard Lane Award for outstanding service and dedication to the Australian Writers Guild. Tonight's about excellence in writing. We have 22 categories that shine a spotlight on the art and craft of what we do. It's about recognition of the work and the writer. But all of us are part of a community that is at its best when we come together. The Australian Writers Guild has been that community for over 60 years, fighting for the agreements that pay and protect us, to create career pathways and to loudly and proudly assert the value of Australian writing. The Richard Lane Award is an award that the Guild presents to a member who has demonstrated extraordinary service to the Guild and dedication to its writers. We don't give it every year. You really have to earn it. And the list of those who have received it is a list of the people who have built this Guild into what it is today. But there has been no more dedicated servant in the history of this Guild than tonight's recipient, Shane Brennan. With over 400 hours, I'm going to talk to you about you, Shane, while you come up here. It might embarrass you. With over 400 hours of produced credits, come on, Shane, that range from series drama to mini-series to telemovies and sitcoms, Shane is a writer's writer. In 2003, he took himself to the US, where he worked on a wide variety of primetime dramas before rescuing NCIS, creating NCIS Los Angeles, running them both at the same time, a time when they were the number 1 and 2 most popular dramas on the planet, and becoming the biggest showrunner in the world. Throughout that time, Shane remained actively engaged with the Guild and with Australian writers. The number of writers who landed in LA to be met by Shane, welcomed, encouraged, and mentored is literally too many to mention. A writer of Shane's experience and stature has more than earned the right to rest on his laurels, to have a holiday. Instead, he created Scripted Inc., a foundation with the explicit goal of developing Australian stories and empowering Australian writers. To date, Scripted Inc. has invested over $5 million in Australian writers. On his return to Australia, Shane became Vice President of the Guild and then President just in time for a global pandemic. His leadership and phenomenally hard work during that very difficult period was quite simply the difference between the Guild surviving and not. Whether it's appearing at state committee events or doing media on important achievements and issues, or lobbying in Canberra, Shane's advocacy has been fierce and unwavering. His vision for what we can do now and in the future is revolutionary, and it's been backed by a tireless willingness to engage, to mentor countless writers for no other reason than because he can. It's one thing to conquer the entertainment world. It's another thing entirely to reach back and hold the door open for others to follow. Shane Brennan represents the best of the Australian Writers Guild. Master writer, leader, and true and faithful servant of us all, it is my privilege to present the Richard Lane Award to Shane Brennan.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Take these away.
Thank you. I'm not used to getting that much applause. As a writer, I'm just used to getting the blame, actually. I'm going to keep it brief. Thank you, Peter. Clearly, as the outgoing president, I will give him a couple of tips about, how to handle the awards, particularly at the beginning of the awards. But the Guild is in very safe hands with Peter at the helm. Look, sadly I never met Richard Lane. For a few years we did work together at Crawford Productions down in Melbourne, but never on the same show. It was 1982, as I recall. The Guild at that time was just 20 years old. And here we are tonight, 40 years later, and Richard's vision for a Guild of Writers to band together to protect our work and our livelihood and our very future is no longer a vision. It's a fact. And it's a fact because of people like Richard and Cliff Green and Matt Gudgeon, Roger Simpson and Jan Sardi, and a whole cadre of other writers over the years who stood up to protect our rights and to make the Guild strong. More than strong, unbreakable. That's what they've made it. So when someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, "It's your turn," I couldn't say no. I see this award as a baton that's handed on to the next generation of writers, proof that we are unbreakable. In coming years, some of you here tonight will be receiving that tap on the shoulder. And it really is important that you say yes. It might be 10 years, it might be 20, it might be 40 years. And if it is 40 years, then I guess Richard Lane and all of those who've come before him have done a great job. So I truly am honoured to receive this award. I'm not someone who, as some of you may know, someone who's easy or willing really to accept awards. This one I didn't hesitate to say yes to because it is so important to the Guild that we continue to hand it on. So thank you. I'm humbled, I'm honoured, and good luck tonight for all of those nominees. And remember that being nominated is actually winning. So thank you, have a great night, and thank you for this award.
Congratulations, Shane. Well, that brings us to our first AWGIEs of the evening in the audio category, with an award for audio fiction, and then we'll have an award for audio non-fiction. Now, podcasts are really having a moment, aren't they, Seren?
They are, that is true, Alex. I've actually always thought personally that podcasts are the opposite of children in that they should be heard and not seen. And yet, little videos of them keep popping up on my Instagram feed all the time.
Right, and then we watch them with the sound off.
Oh.
And now to the nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Audio Fiction category are Gripped, You Don't Know Me, Is There Anything Else You Remember? Jacqueline Bassanelli. The Mist, Sammy Shah. Starship Q-Star, Season 1, First Contact-ish. Megan May and Lauren Anderson.
That's That's me. And the AWGIE goes to Sammy Shah for The Mist.
I was so sure I wouldn't win that I didn't write anything. It's the only time I didn't write anything. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you to my agent, Nidia, who pushed me to enter and keep supporting me always. Thank you to Paul Horan and everyone at Audible who championed this and kept pushing it and didn't make me change the ending, which I thought everyone would want me to do. So it is on Audible, so most of you probably haven't heard it. I don't think anyone has, but it's... I think subscriptions are free for 3 months. And thank you to this story is based around my worst fears of being a parent, and it was me trying to put a spell out there so that if I wrote something about what my worst fears were, then they wouldn't happen in real life. And so thank you to my daughter, Anya, who inspired the story and continues to inspire so much of my writing still. Thank you very much.
From all the entries, only one script was selected by judges to be nominated. And that nominee is therefore the winner of the audio non-fiction category.
Get ready.
Okay, and the winner is, for audio non-fiction, obviously a tough year for audio non-fiction. The AWGIE goes to Simon Nash with Akim Dev, Belinda Lopez and Emma Lancaster for The Children in the Pictures, Crimes Without Borders.
We've got to love this, right? The judges were so blown away that you were the only one that counted or nobody else bothered entering. So I would like to thank my co-writer, Akim Dev, and the fantastic team at Listener, who are a really good place for both non-fiction and fiction, if you're interested in podcasting. And also, just to let you know, well, firstly, just one point to say that we've been lucky enough to win quite a few gongs for this around the world this year, but this is really the only one that counts because it's a peer award, and that's what matters. And lastly, I would say, hey, if you're looking for a writing gig, we're really keen to take this to drama, so come and find me. Okay, thank you very much.
To our next category now. Now, as a mother, I've always known the importance of children's television. Children's TV shapes the minds of our next generation and plays a pivotal role in ensuring that I get 5 goddamn minutes to myself.
And there are 2 categories in these awards: Children's C for older kids and Children's P for preschoolers.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Children's Television C classification category are Crazy Fun Park Season 1, I Don't Want to Grow Up, Nicholas Verso. Crazy Fun Park Season 1, Remember Me, Magda Wozniak. Mickey vs. the World Season 2, Broken Hearts and Stinky Farts, Gemma Bird Matheson. Turn Up the Volume Season 1, Spinning Around, Chloe Wong and Penelope Chai. Turn Up the Volume Season 1, The Less I Know, the Better, Matthew Bond.
Okay, and the AWGIE goes to Magda Wozniak for Crazy Fun Park, Remember Me.
Thank you. you. Thank you. Do I help? Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. I feel really proud to be featured in this category tonight. Australian Kids TV really shaped me profoundly as a young person and also as a young writer. I'm especially proud to be part of a show like Crazy Fun Park that lovingly celebrates our freaks and our outsiders. Tonight, my thanks go especially to Nick Verso, whose crazy fun imagination created this world of beautiful weirdos, and who so dedicatedly introduced me to the ins and outs of body horror. Thanks for that, Nick. Thanks also go to Joe and everyone at Werner, to Candice and everyone at RGM, to the cast and crew who worked tirelessly on Crazy Fun Park, who worked tirelessly on all kids TV, and to the other wonderful nominees in this category. The writing on that list is just so inspiring, and I'm thrilled that all those wonderful shows are out there helping our kids and teens feel seen and held. Because with everything going on in the world, and perhaps especially this week, that feels more vital than ever. Thank you.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Children's Television P classification category are Beep and Mort Season 1, My Best Friend, Amy Stewart. Beep and Mort Season 1, Nothing to Do Day, Charlotte Rose Hamlin. Kangaroo Beach, Special, Poppy Christmas Gherkin, Charlotte Rose Hamlin and Tim Bain. Kangaroo Beach, Season 2, King Kanga, Rebecca Shafurius.
And the AWGIE goes to Charlotte Rose Hamlin for Beep and Mort, Nothing to Do Day.
Thank you. Oh my God, I love it. It's so shiny. I did write a speech just in case because I'm really bad at memorizing words. I'm pretty good at making them up though. Thank you for this sparkly token of validation. My equally sparkly thanks go to the Writers Guild, huzzah, and the fabulously good-looking judges, whoever you are. My fellow nominees, who are all just as deserving of this, Amy, Rebecca, Tim, congratulations. To the amazing team at Windmill Pictures who make Beep and Mort, Rosemary Myers, Kay Weeks, Jonathan Oxlade, and all the amazing cast and crew and our extended writing team. To Sam Carroll, our fabulous script editor, Screen Australia, SAFC, and last but not least, the ABC Kids team. Libby Doherty, Jan Stradling, Margaret Ross, Amanda Isdale, Mary-Ellen Mullane, Megan Young, and extra special thanks to Michael Drake, who was there in the very first room and then became our wonderful script producer. Thank you.
And now we're going to take a very short break from the awards to hear from a lover of the arts and an advocate for the industry.
She's a mother to a couple of artists herself. Please welcome to the stage Special Envoy to the Arts, the Honourable Susan Templeman MP.
It is such a delight to be with you. I can see that you are not used to being the centre of attention, so let me show you how it's done. I'd like to acknowledge that we're on the land of the Gadigal and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who are with us tonight. I'd also like to acknowledge the board and the elected leaders of the Australian Writers Guild, as well as all of the nominees and their guests. As I say, it is delightful to be with you, but as an ex-radio journalist, I usually feel I'm reasonably okay at crafting some words that are appropriate to the moment. But I don't know if you have any idea how hard it is to write a speech that you're going to deliver to a bunch of incredible writers. So thank you for that challenge. Nights like this are important because writing can often be quite a solitary endeavour. I've had some writers tell me they'd much rather be at their desk alone than out at some fancy function with hundreds of people, but I hope tonight is giving you a sense of togetherness. I'd first like to thank the Writers Guild for its invaluable contribution to the development of the Australian National Cultural Policy that we released, Revive, a year ago. The Guild's powerful advocacy in the second half of 2022 helped ensure that the rights and conditions of Australia's creatives and the value of your ideas were at the centre of the policy. At its core, Revive is about recognising the value of Australian storytelling in all its diversity. It's about sharing our stories with each other and with the world. We simply can't do that without you, without your skill, creativity and ingenuity. For Australian screen and theatre to flourish, not just to be revived, but to be thriving, we need your talents. It's impossible not to recognise that Australia's arts community is still recovering from one of the most difficult periods, a period when the pandemic disrupted and halted your projects and left many of you without a reliable income, a period of budget cuts, underfunding and undermining, a period in which the arts community was shown little respect by the former Australian government. The arts community has extraordinary resilience and solidarity, and throughout that time that was so tested. But that solidarity will be the greatest strength as we move forward into this new chapter together. As a group of creatives, you are stronger together in your guild. Writers know their industry best, and that's why a leadership elected by the rank and file provides such effective representation. Your guild's advocacy certainly helps me be better informed, and it helps make our government better informed, which means we're better equipped to support the cultural sector and respond to its needs. The creative industries that you sustain are undergoing profound changes in the face of global market forces, shifting audience behaviours and rapid technological change. As you face these changes and challenges, I hope you feel you have a federal government by your side that respects your dignity as creative workers, understands the value of your work, and will do all it can to ensure that you do thrive. I know you have trusted us to get the settings right. We'll continue to fulfil our commitments, things like modernising the location offset, the digital games tax offset, a new Works of Scale fund, increased funding for Creative Australia to reverse the Brandis cuts, establishing creative workplaces within Creative Australia, and quotas for Australian content on streaming platforms. As they come to fruition, I look forward to you experiencing improved conditions, not just hoping for them. To nominees, I say it is indeed a high honour to be acknowledged by your fellow writers in such a public way, higher than any praise a special envoy can bestow, aside from the fact that our government believes in independent peer assessment every time. Whether you receive an award or not, please know how deeply your work is valued beyond this room, and thank you for your contribution in telling our Australian stories.
Well, have you ever seen a film and thought, I wish this went for 5 to 7 minutes? Well, this next category is for you. Your nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Short Film category are I Moan, Catherine Kelleher, Jia V. Shi, Tweet Na, William Dwan, Voice Activated, Steve Anthopoulos.
Okay, and the AWGIE goes to V. Shi for Jia.
Keep clapping, he's not here yet. Can't be tired already, guys.
Hi everyone. I'm accepting this award on behalf of V, who couldn't be here. And here's a beautiful short film. He told me just to say anything that came to mind, so he kind of left me hanging there. But yeah, I really do adore his short and hope that everyone has the chance to see it. So thanks.
I'm not sure if you've been paying attention at all, but the AWGIEs this year are actually see-through, which means even in photos, no one will know you won one. Our next category is animation.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the animation category are Bird Drone, Claire Toonan; Koala Man, Season 1, The Red Hot Rule, Nina Oyama; The Sandman, Season 1, Dream of a Thousand Cats, Catherine Smith McMullen; The Strange Chores, Season 3, Help Manga Charlie, Alex Feeney.
And the AWGIE goes to Nina Oyama for Koala Man, The Red Hot Rule. Nina, use the stairs. Sorry, everyone.
I just want to say thank you to my mum, Alex Lee, and thank you to Dilruk Jayasena. Love you, man. This is crazy. I did not expect to win this, so I also did not prepare a speech. My butthole is just currently unclenching. Thank you to Mike Keller from Princess Pictures. Thank you to Dan Hernandez and Benji Samet who were our showrunners. Dude, writing for animation is so crazy because like when you write for live action, everyone's like, oh, the budget, oh, the location. And with animation, you can be like, what if this car like turned into a barbecue and then tried to grill Nicole Kidman? And everyone's like, that's a great idea. Yeah, thank you to those guys, and thank you to Michael Cusack. He's the biggest ciggy butt brain in the biz, and I wouldn't be anywhere without him. Thank you.
Our next award, the Web Series Award, is co-presented by NIDA.
So please put your hands together for NIDA's Head of Dramatic Writing, Mr. Joe Hepworth.
Hello, good evening. It's great to have you all at NIDA and see so many writers take over of the building, which I've been trying to make happen for a while. But thank you to everyone that made tonight happen here. It's really great, and I appreciate that. It was also starting to look like the only way I was going to get on stage at the AWGIEs was to actually have it here. I just, obviously in my role, I'm fairly passionate about working with new writers, developing new writers. So I just want to use my 30 seconds just to thank everyone in the room who over the past 12 months has given an opportunity or a chance to a new writer. Whether that's because you've come in to NIDA, and there's a lot of faces that I can see you have come in, and I thank you as well. But it might also be because you've been to Afters or WAPA or VCA or wherever that is. Or you've brought a writer into a writer's room as an observer or as a note taker, or even given them that golden ticket of their first episode. You know, it's always been hard to be a writer and to start out on a career, and it always will
be hard to start out as a career as a writer, but I don't think we can underappreciate just what it means to new writers starting out to have those opportunities and be given those chances. So thank you very much. And of course, if you're out there wondering how you can give an opportunity to a new writer, by all means, give me a shout, because I have some in mind. Anyway, I think they're going to read off the nominations.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Web Series category are Appetite, Season 1, Episode 1, Dead Ahead, and Episode 2, Far Ken Watt, Mohini Hersey, Nilesh Verma, and Grace Tan. Childish Dino, Season 1, Episode 1, Show and Tell, and Episode 6, Apology, David Ferrier with Dean Thomas. Latecomers, Season 1, Episode 1, I Woke Up with Cerebral Palsy Again, and Episode 3, Great Boobs, Emma Myers, Nina Oyama, Angus Thompson. Night Bloomers, Season 1, Striking Hairpins, Ra Chapman. Night Bloomers, Season 1, Friend or Foe, Andrew Undy Lee.
And the AWGIE goes to Andrew Undy Lee for Night Bloomers, Friend or Foe.
I did not expect that at all. Shit. I thank SBS, Donna Chang, who reached out, and Catherine and the rest of the SBS team just had a lot of patience with me. I think I was teething in my first, episodes of writing TV. I helped a lot of other shows write Korean narratives like for 4 years, and I had very clenched teeth of wanting to write our own stories from our perspectives. So I just want to thank SBS for the patience, because that energy was really strong in me, and having the opportunity to write for my community was really important for me. So I just want to thank SBS again, and this is very encouraging, so thank you so much again.
The Australian Writers Guild is deeply grateful to our sponsors and supporters. AWGACS, Screenwrites Australia, Media Super, SBS, Netflix, NIDA, Endemol Shine, Australian Children's Television Foundation, Matchbox Pictures, Afters, ABC, Fremantle Australia, Seesaw Films, Paul Payne Lawyers, Lingo Pictures, Werner Film Productions, HLA Management, By George Legal, RGM Artists, Cameron's Management, Creative Content Australia. And now, back to the awards presentation.
No offence to the sponsors, but it was kind of tempting to get the kazoo out during that. A good documentary allows us to see from someone else's eyes, to walk in someone else's shoes, all while doing Kegels in our own lounge rooms. I'm doing them right now. And it makes us at once better people and better lovers.
It's true. Our next two awards are for Documentary for Public Broadcast and Documentary for Community Training and Education. And here are your nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Documentary Public Broadcast category are The Defenders, Matthew Bate, Harley and Katya, Blake Hoffman with Selena Miles, John Farnham, Finding the Voice. Poppy Stockel with Paul Clark. Volcano Man, Tim Russell with James Crawley and Stephen Sander.
And the AWGIE goes to Tim Russell with James Crawley and Stephen Sandler for Volcano Man.
Thank you. Wow, this is a shock. Thank you, the Australian Writers Guild. It is an amazing honour to be given this award. Such amazing other nominees. Congratulations to the other nominees. Just a quick few thank yous to Good Thing Productions, Nick Batsias, Rian Skirving, Virginia Whitwell and Charlotte Wheaton. To MIF, especially to Al Cossar and to Mark Woods, to Vic Screen, Screen Australia, Madman, DocPlay and to Common Ventures. And we actually have to thank James, our fellow screenwriter, because he allowed us to put his entire life on film. So I thought I'd just pass over to James quickly to say a few words.
Thanks. Thanks. I was just a kid that wanted to understand his dad and the death of his mum, I guess, a bit better, and I guess wanted to try and make sense of it in, a script and in a film. And I didn't get to understand my dad any better. He's still just as frustrating as ever, as everyone's dad is. But I did get to articulate it, and that's been incredibly satisfying. And this is awesome. And we sat in the middle, didn't expect to win at all. So how good is that? Thank you very much. Good stuff.
And before the kazoo comes out, I'd like to thank obviously James and Richard, whose story we told, and for giving me the opportunity to collaborate on this wonderful project. And I have to also thank my mum and dad, because it all starts with them. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
From all the entries, only one script was selected by judges to be nominated. And that nominee is therefore the winner of the Documentary, Community, Education and Training category.
Okay. And the AWGIE goes to Sofia Golan for Imagined Touch.
Thank you. This is especially exciting because to be receiving this in this category, because this story does come from community. It comes from a community that has no public face to the world. Heather Lawson and Michelle Stephen are deaf-blind, and they approached a theatre maker, Jodie Mundy, asking her to help them create a story that showed people what it was like to be deaf-blind. It was a small grassroots show that ultimately became a sophisticated installation, a sellout success with the Sydney International Festival. So I want to thank Jodie Mundy for inviting me to come on board as writer, co-director. She was producer and unfortunately can't be here tonight. Heather and Michelle for entrusting us with their story. All of our funders and partners, and thanks to SBS because I've just picked it up for broadcast later this month or early March, so you can see it then. And thanks to my family, my husband. My kids don't really know what I do. They think I look at a computer all day as a writer. And thank you to the AWGIE. This is really exciting.
Our next award for Most Outstanding Script in the Television Serial category is co-presented by Netflix.
Actually, Home and Away is up for nomination
That's
tonight.
true, yeah.
And it's actually for episode 7,949. And you know, Alex, I did some research before tonight. Home and Away has been running for 37 seasons, nearly 8,000 episodes, 4,000 hours of TV. And most of us are still wondering, when are they going to show the away?
I think if they did, it would be in Bali. To present the award for television serial, please welcome to the stage Netflix Director of Content for Australia and New Zealand, Kyu Min Lu.
Hello, I am not a writer and I have nothing written, so I just want to love on all of you for a moment and say that some of the best writers that we have had the opportunity to work with have come from serial, soap drama, and you just don't get that kind of rigour and craft without that kind of day in, day out, churn it out, get those stories out, and so yay, them. Also kids TV, some of the best bloody writers come from kids TV as well. Anyway, you are all very good looking and I'm a huge fan and we very, very much enjoy working with you. Please bring us all your best ideas and even some of your mediocre ones. We'll work on it together. That's what development's for. So, without further ado, the nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the television serial category are EastEnders, episode 6593, Peter Matesi. Home and Away, episode 7949, Paige Montague. Home and Away, episode 7959, Louise Bose. Neighbours, episode 8867, Sarah Mayberry. Neighbours, episode 8903, Jason Herbison.
And the winner is, for the 8,867th episode of Neighbours, Sarah Mayberry.
Wow, as Christopher Walken would say. This is really cool. Thank you to the Guild. I have a note, so I'll read it. Neighbours has been my writing home for more than 2 decades. I've learned so much there and met so many amazing friends. It's allowed me to have a career in publishing, film and series TV in the UK. There are so many talented people to thank. Our EP, Jason Herbison, producer Andrew Thompson, story editor Stephanie Carter, and my amazing work partner in crime, Shane Isheev. I hope you're watching at home. Last but not least, a huge thanks to my husband Chris, who has taught me so much and is the best cheerleader in the world. Long live Neighbours.
Wow, and that is amazing. That is how you know the AWGIEs are not rigged. The president just lost an award.
Okay, this is a little bit of an unorthodox moment, Alex. I am just going to break the proceedings a little bit here. I think we're doing a great job, though, if you agree.
Yeah. Mild approval.
Okay.
Take it.
That might be about to change. I got to be honest with you, I didn't know that Kyu Min Lu from Netflix was going to be here tonight, Alex. And as soon as I found out, I took the opportunity. This is unorthodox. It's not normal, but I'm actually myself an actor. And I I feel like this is, it would be remiss of me to waste this opportunity to, right now, in front of a room full of writers and also Netflix, if I wasn't to show my show reel. So Q, if you see any potential or writers, if you want to write me into episode 8000 of Home and Away, please take a look at the show reel and have a look at my talent.
Drive and they go. People are...
That's it. That's all I've done.
Wow.
I haven't done a whole lot of work yet, but I think you can see there's a bit of talent there.
A lot of potential there, Suren. And do please stick to comedy. Speaking of, the next two awards are for comedy, situation and narrative, and comedy, sketch or light entertainment. And here are your nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the comedy, situation or narrative category are A Christmas Ransom, Elliot Vella, Gretel Vella and Timothy Walker. Colin from Accounts, Season 1, Flash, Harriet Dyer. Colin from Accounts, Season 1, The Good Room, Patrick Brammell. In Limbo, Season 1, Cremating, Tamara Asmar.
And the AWGIE goes to Harriet Dyer for Colin from Accounts, Flash.
My husband Paddy got COVID just to avoid being humiliated. Sucked in. This is so nice. I so appreciate it. I wore my Nora Ephron shirt for good luck. Yeah. Zac Efron's mum. So good stuff. I wrote this script 6.5 years ago, which is amazing because I'm only 7. But it was as a response to what was going on in my life, which was nothing. It was really an exercise in positivity and getting out of the house. And I'm so grateful to be here, and Colin and its ongoing success surprises me every day, and I just feel really lucky to quote Barry Humphries, to be in the business of cheering people up. So thank you for having me. It's an absolute honour to be part of the Guild, and I feel like a massive imposter right now. So much talent in the room. Have a good night.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the comedy, sketch or light entertainment category are Gruen Nation, Season 14, Pawsome, James Colley and Beck Melrose with Kirsten Drysdale, Angela Lavoisier and Cameron James. The Last Year of Television 2022, Mitch McTaggart. The Weekly, The Week in TV, featuring Margaret Pomerantz. Rob Hunter.
Okay, and the AWGIE goes to Mitch McTaggart for The Last Year of Television.
I only jumped up the stairs because I knew I wasn't going to make it in time for the song. Like, I listened to the time of it, it's just not possible. I'm also very unfit. Thank you. This is really sweet. Thank you to Binge and also SBS for giving us a go, and also for letting us get away with the kind of stuff we say in the show. When in doubt, make a mean joke about Rolf Harris. Seems to do the job. But I think the industry that we all work in is giant and beautiful and weird, and I think it's just so... I think everybody here is doing it properly, everyone's winning at it, and it's just... I'm so baffled to be standing up here with you all. You're all so talented. It's crazy. I'm trying to think of a Rolf Harris joke to end with, but I got nothing in the bank, unfortunately. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mitch. And did you notice, Seren, that I actually won that award last year, so...
No way.
Yeah, it was different. It looked different then. It was like a gold sort of spiky one. And I took it home and, this is true, my husband took it and used it as a paper towel roll holder. Such disrespect, but that's fucking actors for you, isn't it? Anyway, on to our next category, theatre.
Okay, and in these next awards, we will be celebrating 5 theatre categories: theatre for young audiences, community and youth theatre, musical theatre, stage adapted, and stage original.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Theatre for Young Audience category are All the Shining Lights, Brendan Hogan. Past the Shallows, Julian Lanark. The Sleep That Ceased to Settle, Finnegan Crookemeyer.
Okay, and the AWGIE for theatre for young audiences goes to Brendan Hogan for All the Shining Lights.
Wow, thank you. My name's Brendan Hogan, for those people who don't know me. I introduce myself to those people over there. They're my cheer squad. Can I have it for my cheer squad? Yeah, whoa, I think it's Pam and Desi. Yeah, thanks, Pam and Desi. Wow, I've come up from Yakandana today in northeast Victoria. Those who have heard Yakandana, let's hear a big yeehaw. Woo, yeah, great. So I'm a regional-based playwright, and I was lucky enough to get my first commission through to a main stage production thanks to Hot House Theatre in Albury-Wodonga, a great independent theatre company. Let's go, Hot House. And Carla Conway, the artistic director, who took a risk on me, who's someone who is a bit of a hack when it comes to writing, and she dramaturged the shit out of me and created something amazing, which is All the Shining Lights. Also, thanks to Carm Hogan for sharing her passion for the play, and also my wife, who allowed me to scratch my itch of maybe being a writer one day, and kept the kids out of my hair on Saturdays and Sundays so I could scratch that itch. And this is the result of the itch. Great, thank you very much, everybody.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Community and Youth Theatre category are The Chapel, The Fire and The Dead Cat, Madeline Nunn. How to Vote, or the repercussions of political ambition and personal rivalries within student leadership and media organisations in the context of the post-COVID-19 neoliberal university institution, Julian Lanark. Najung, Dylan Vandenberg.
And the AWGIE goes to Dylan Vandenberg for Najung.
Thank you. It reminds me of things in my nan's crystal cabinet that I was never allowed to touch. Joke's on you, Nan. I got one now. Thank you so much. This is amazing. This was a story written in consultation with the incredible Ngunnawal community in Canberra, where I've had the privilege of living for the last 12 years. I'm a Palawa person, they're not my mob, so I really need to thank Auntie Caroline Hughes, Ngunnawal Elder. I have to thank the United Ngunnawal Elders Council, the Ngunnawal Waningay Aboriginal Language Corporation for the gift and the honour of using Ngunnawal language in this story. It's about the climate crisis that we're currently in. There's no time to wait, everyone. We've got to do something. And I have to thank everyone at Belconnen Arts Centre in Canberra. A lot of great stuff happens in the ACT. Keep your eye out for it. Thank you so much, everyone.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Musical Theatre category are Dubbo Championship Wrestling, Daniel Cullen with James Cullen. Watershed, The Death of Dr. Duncan, Alana Valentine and Christos Cholkos.
Okay, and the AWGIE for Musical Theatre goes to Alana Valentine and Christos Cholkos for Watershed, The Death of Dr. Duncan.
Watershed, The Death of Dr. Duncan is about a gay man who was thrown into the River Torrens in an action by the Vice Squad that they called Teaching the Fairies How to Swim. He drowned, and 50 years later, his murderers have still not been brought to justice. But his death kicked off homosexual law reform, not just in Adelaide and in Australia, but around the English-speaking world. Neil Armfield commissioned this work for the Adelaide Festival to commemorate those 50 years. Joseph Twist composed the music, and my collaborator and guild colleague Christos Cholkos wrote the libretto with me. Christos is a thrill maker, a soul catcher and a weaponiser of words, and it was my honour to work with him. At the end of the libretto there are 2 lines which are dedicated to every queer person, but tonight I dedicate them to my partner Vicky Gordon, and they are: love is crazy birds, love is joy transferred. Christos has asked me to read something that he wanted to say. He said that working with me is one of the great joys of his life. He did that to embarrass me, I know. He said, "We listen to the ghosts, and it is an honour and privilege to be able to be part of a collaboration that allowed us to hear the songs and laments of those who were silenced by the violence of history." Thank you so much.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Stage Adapted category are We There Yet? Finnegan Krookemeyer. Looking for Alibrandi, Vidya Rajan. Museum of Modern Love, Tom Holloway.
Okay, and the AWGIE goes to Tom Holloway for the Museum of Modern Love.
Tom actually couldn't make it tonight, so he's asked us to read a few words. So I'll get into character now. Thank you so much to the Writers Guild and my peers for this exciting acknowledgement. I can't be here tonight, and I also can't quite tell you how much this means to me. Museum of Modern Love was developed during the impossible years of COVID, premiering just as Sydney began to reopen, before anyone really knew how to handle normal life again. It only survived all this while other projects disappeared across the country because of the incredible dedication of Timothy Jones and the Seymour Centre team. I thank them all greatly for everything they did. And then the cast and crew who were putting it on each night in those circumstances, they were all amazing, let alone doing it all so well. But the person I would like to thank most for this is the author, Heather Rose. She welcomed me into her creative world with open arms, granting me my own creative freedom, constantly meeting me with encouragement and excitement and an open mind. Could there be any better experience when adapting the work of another? Heather, I will be forever grateful to you. From Abramovich's home in New York to the beaches of Tasmania and finally the stage in Sydney, I'll never forget it. Thank you, everyone. I wish I was there with you.
For most outstanding script in the stage original category are The End of Winter, Noel Janacheska. Every Man and His Dog, Ron Alicia. Never Closer, Grace Chappell. The Return, John Harvey. Wayside Bride, Alana Valentine. White Fella Yellow Tree, Dylan Vandenberg.
And the AWGIE goes to Dylan Vandenberg for White Fella Yellow Tree.
Oh, this is a unique form of torture, isn't it? Thank you. Oh my golly goodness. Okay, so I did write this. Why did I write it? Look, it was a great joy to write this play about young black queer love. They're not stories that I saw when I was growing up, and so it was a real privilege to be able to write it with the incredible team at Griffin Theatre Company, the home of New Australian Writing. Okay, yes, please. So I really need to thank the genius, who is Andrea James. I need to thank Declan Green, Amy Soul, the incredible actors who worked on the development of this, Guy Simon, Callum Purcell, also Ursula Jovic, who played a young teenage boy. She's got the range. She can do it all. During the development of this. This is, truly an honour. Thank you so much.
Okay, the most outstanding scripts from all 5 theatre categories go on to be considered for the prestigious David Williamson Prize.
And tonight, to present the David Williamson Prize, please welcome to the stage legendary writer and producer and outgoing president of the Guild. You know him, it's Mr. Shane Brennan.
Thank you.
An envelope. Okay. So, the David Williamson Prize, a few years back, David said to me, we give this prize and there's a cash side to it, as well as the obvious prestige of being awarded the David Williamson. But he said, a lot of the plays then don't get made. They don't get staged. Audiences don't see them. So we looked at rejigging the award and the prize money, and it's now broken down into 2 parts. The prize for the writer is $20,000. The other $80,000 goes to the theatre company, and that money is put towards them developing another project and getting it onto the stage. And it's been very, very successful. I'd love to be able to say the writer gets 80 grand and the theatre gets 20, but no, it's the way of the world, guys. So the David Williamson Prize this year goes to Dylan Vandenberg for White Fella Yellow Tree. That's your
It's my...
chairs.
Oh, it's a little longer.
And that could be the cheque.
Well, see you at the pub, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, good. You know what? Because there are people I've forgotten. So this is working. This is good. Wowzers, thank you so much. To receive a prize in David Williamson's name is incredible. I read The Club when I was in school. Didn't know about football. Loved the play. And then travelling north when I was at university. And David's work has done so much for the form, and this is incredible. Thank you so much to the Williamsons, to the Brennans for supporting this. This is a remarkable award for a playwright, but also for a company who believe in new Australian work. Griffin, again, there you go. But also, can I take this opportunity to thank people I've forgotten? My incredible agent, Lisa Fagan from Cameron's. Thank you. Thank you. I've said it before, but you're a buffer between me and the real world. Thank you. I also need to thank my partner, Emily. She's the heavily pregnant one, shuffling about. You'll see her. When my name was called out, I thought I might go into labour. So, look, I hope she's okay. And also, I want to, Griffin Theatre Company is incredible. Former artistic director Ros Horan once said that Griffin is the theatre of first chances, and Griffin gave me my first chance, and we need more places to do that. And so the fact that I share this with Griffin is pretty remarkable. And lastly, to my daughter, who's 4, Charlotte, I write stories for her. I write stories for my great-grandmother who couldn't tell the story she wanted to tell. So we stretch back and we stretch forward. Thank you so much, everyone.
I'd just like to say the judges have just sent me something about the play, and I just read it, and I really think we should share this. They said their comment on this play, tender and tragic in equal measure. This play stakes its claim in Australian history, marrying the colonial and the contemporary in thrilling fashion. It's an anguished cry and a warm embrace, and a very worthy winner of this prize. I don't think you could get a better review. Congratulations.
We'd now like to take a moment to remember some of the Australian Writers Guild family who we've said goodbye to over the past year.
Viewers are warned that the following presentation contains images of deceased persons. categories left. Our next awards are for feature film, adapted, and feature film original.
Now, one of the films in our original category is about a live television broadcast in 1977 that unleashes evil into the nation's living rooms.
Or, as it was known by its working title, Hey Hey, It's Saturday.
And now to our nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the feature film adapted category are Blueback, Robert Connolly. The Royal Hotel, Oscar Redding with Kitty Green.
And the AWGIE goes to Oscar Redding with Kitty Green for The Royal Hotel.
We had a ball writing this. This was fucking great, doing this thing. And we didn't prepare anything because we didn't want to jinx it. So again, like so many people, we haven't prepared anything. But we've got to thank Pete, firstly, because Pete did an amazing documentary. Of course. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of terrifying and amazing. And
it's called Hotel Coolgardie, and that's Pete Gleeson.
Yeah.
Some detail.
Pete, we had to thank Pete.
Yeah,
you know
Pete,
who Pete
just
is.
Pete.
Also, the Writers Guild, of course, first and foremost, this is amazing. And, you know, as everyone's been saying, being around just other weirdos like yourself is such a treat. So this is awesome. Seesaw. Which, of course, have sort of you talk. I want to hear what you've got to say.
No. We should thank Seesaw, especially those who were involved in the script. Oscar told me not to thank any of the cast or crew or anyone involved in the film because this is about the script. So just the Seesaw people that were involved in the script.
Hugo was rubbish.
Yeah, no. Definitely Ian Canning, Emile Sherman, Billy Bowering, Catherine Bridle, Rachel Gardner. There's a lot of people that came on after that, but we're not going to mention them again. And who else? Oh, Julia Garner, my partner in crime, who said yes to this before she'd even knew what it was, and so she's a big part of getting this thing up and going. Screen Australia, yes. SAFC, Screen New South Wales, Neon.
Yes.
There's more. Transmission. Thank you. That's it.
That's
right?
it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the feature film original category are Head South, Jonathan Ogilvie. A Late Night with the Devil, Colin Carnes and Cameron Carnes. The New Boy, Warwick Thornton. The Rooster, Mark Leonard Winter.
And the AWGIE goes to Colin Carnes and Cameron Carnes for Late Night with the Devil.
So unfortunately, Colin and Cameron couldn't make it tonight, so they've sent through some words for us to read on their behalf. Thank you so much to the Guild, the judges, and everyone who supported the development of this strange screenplay over its checkered development. Thanks Vic Screen and Screen Australia for some early draft to draft funding, and our dogged producers Matt Gavoni and Adam White. A very special thanks also to Joel Anderson, who was crucial to the development of the story very early in the process, and again as we neared production and began to worry that things weren't quite right. He kept saying it was in good shape, and we believe you now, Joel. We're sorry we can't be there to accept this award. It's one less hangover for us, so it's probably healthier this way. Thanks, and have a great night.
I think we should all accept a hangover on their behalf tomorrow. Well, we are now up to our penultimate award of the evening for television series. Here are your nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the television series category are The Great, Season 3, Ice, Tony McNamara. The Newsreader, Season 2, People Like You and Me, Kim Ho. Totally Completely Fine, Season 1, Not All Heroes Carry a Vape, Keir Wilkins.
Okay, and the AWGIE goes to Tony McNamara for The Great, Ice.
Tony is also unable to be with us this evening. I assume they're all hanging out together. But he has provided a few words for us to read. Thank you, Australian Writers Guild. It's an honour and very exciting to win this. It always means a lot to be recognised by your peers in this way. Thank you to the studio, MRC and Hulu, our fabulous network. The great Marion McGowan, my partner in all this, the writers' room, the actors and everyone who makes The Great what it is. I think we're getting quite good at this, actually. I kind of feel like I've won some awards tonight. This is great. Well, it is now our final award of the night for Television Limited Series. And, you know, I did sense a bit of the theme looking at all these nominees. In The Clearing, some children are kidnapped. In The House Across the Street, a child goes missing. In The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, a child is sent to live with her grandmother. I'm just saying, I know when these are written, all that homeschooling in lockdown might have inspired a little bit of wishful thinking.
Here are your nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the television limited series category are The Clearing, Maitreya, Elise McCready. The House Across the Street, Beulah Sandler. The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, Sarah Lambert, Kirsty Fisher and Kim Wilson.
And the AWGIE goes to Beulah Sandler for The House Across the Street. Across the street.
That was good.
I think she's actually come from the house across the street, so...
Congratulations. Thank you. Do I have to hold that? Thank you. This is not my forte, so I apologise. This project started life a very long time ago as a feature film called The Winter Child. It was supported with great passion and intelligence by Sam Jennings, whose passion and intelligence have since become obvious to all as part of Causeway Films. In its rollercoaster journey of getting close to production and not quite making it a number of times, the script found me some incredible creative allies, namely Lynn Vincent McCarthy, Tony Ayres, Film Victoria and Screen Australia. Though this was so long ago, I think they were both called something else. Then, long after I thought it was done and dusted, never to be anything more than a writing sample, it found a second life in the UK. Though that was by no means a straightforward path either, it never would have had that chance if my agent of more than 20 years, Anthony Blair, hadn't pushed me out of the nest and opened doors for me in the UK. It transformed my writing life in so many ways, and so for that and so much else over the years, thank you, Anthony, wherever you are out there. I'd like to acknowledge my fellow nominees and esteemed colleagues, Elise McCready, Sarah Lambert, Kirsty Fisher and Kim Wilson. An honour to be named in the same breath. And thank you to the Writers Guild.
We did it! Great work, everyone. Beautiful speeches. Thank you so much for having us. If you enjoyed our hosting tonight, Seren and I are available for writers' rooms. If you didn't, we just got this script tonight. We're just reading it. Please join us in thanking the incredible staff at the Australian Writers Guild for working so hard to make this night happen.
Thank you so much for being a lovely audience tonight, and please join us for a drink in the foyer afterwards. And of course, after the drink in the foyer, there's the official, sex party, the orgies.
Yes. It's a very prestigious event, and trust me, you get a lot of networking done there. All right, I've been Alex Lee.
And I'm Seren Jaimana.
Good night.
Good night.